Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jags postgame show.
In the end, the Jags are going to jag. Psh, hear that noise? That's the wind going out of the footballs. The air going out of the footballs as the season comes to a close before November 1st. Hyperbole? Not really. Jags find ways to lose, and the Packers, a good team, find ways to win, and the Jags lose today, unbelievably, not really, at home again, 30-27, without going to overtime. After coming back from 10 down in the fourth quarter, they find ways to lose, and it's happening over and over and over again. And here we are. Hi, everybody. Dan Hicken at the stadium. Jags lose to the Pack. Green Bay 6-2. Jacksonville 2-6. You don't come back from 2-6. You don't really come back from 2-5. You don't come back from 0-4. We're going to break it down for you here over the next 50 minutes or so. Talk to you about what happened. But bottom line is this. Jacksonville had its opportunities. They come all the way back. They take the lead. Jordan Love is out of the game. They're going up against a backup quarterback. And somehow, some way, the Jags jag. And they lose. And that's what has been happening to this football team for 30 years now, quite frankly, minus a couple years here or there. And the disappointment now is at an all-time high. They will not win here at the bank against a good team. They cannot win in front of their own fans. They simply invent new ways each and every Sunday to lose football games. And it's got to be maddening for everyone involved. It's got to be maddening. And let's look at all the different things that happen. I want to laud Trevor Lawrence for coming back. I do. But Trevor Lawrence put him in the position that they had to come back because Trevor Lawrence inexplicably fumbled on the 5-yard line because he transferred the football to his left hand and got it punched out on his own 5-yard line. Can't do that, my man. Trevor Lawrence threw a pick from the end zone. That's 14 points he gave the Green Bay Packers today. Cannot do that. To his credit, he came back. He came back without Gabe Davis, without Christian Kirk, who, by the way, is going to be out for a while, it looks like. Haven't heard the official word yet. We'll get it from Doug Pederson momentarily. He did it without Brian Thomas Jr., all three down with injuries, and yet somehow, some way, Trevor took him on a touchdown drive to tie the game at 27. And then, almost unbelievably, the Jags give up a 51-yard play to Jaden Reed. I don't know if their defensive back fell down, but wide open down the sideline. Looked like somebody fell from the press box right down the sideline into field goal range. Ball game. Ball game. They scored with too much time left. At least Coach Doug Pederson didn't go for two. I thought that was a smart play here at home. You got them on the ropes. But, man, oh, man, this team. Let's not forget they had taken the lead earlier, and then they gave it back. They took the lead, and then they let Green Bay with a backup quarterback run it down their throats in the fourth quarter. I just can't explain it. I can't explain it. I don't understand it. I don't know enough about run fits and such to tell you what happened, except for, we have this rotation on defense. Maybe that was a part of it. I don't know. Trevor threw for 308 yards. The stats don't matter. It's a loss. It's a loss, and he'll tell you that. And the Jags now fall to 2-6. And we had said on the pregame show, look, they're probably out of it. But these 4 games are going to dictate what happens to the 2024 Jags. And if they had simply won this game, it's a feel-good. You go to Philly, they're not winning at Philly. They might win here in 2 weeks against Minnesota, but they probably won't. And they're definitely not winning at Detroit. So now they're looking at 3-8. Probably looking at a 5-12, 6-11 type season at best. And it's up to Shad Khan to decide if he wants to run it back, which he tends to usually do, which makes no sense to a lot of us, but that's where they are. Injuries got him today, though. Offensive linemen went down, receivers went down. It's no excuse. I'm just saying they finally got him. We had started the same offensive line every game this year until today when say again, Liv? We had started the same 5 all season long on the front of the offensive line until today when Doug Pederson replaced Cam Robinson with Walker Little. I thought the offensive line, it's so funny. I was sitting up in the press box with Brent Martineau. It's not funny, but it's so apropos for this football team. I said, hey, Brent, Trevor hasn't gotten sacked today. Nope. Very next play, sack, fumble, Green Bay ball. Touchdown Packers a couple plays later. Green Bay knows how to win. Jacksonville knows how to lose. I don't know how else to say it. We don't know how to win as a football team. This year's edition does not know how to win football games. We had Miami, right? We had this game. We can't win. If you just won both of those games, you'd be 4-4. Everything would be peachy. It's not. You're 2-6. You're done. And it's only going to get tougher. You're going to Philadelphia next week. Game won't be on Sunday night. We got flexed out of that game, and rightfully so, although a lot of you were angry. Doesn't matter, man. We're little old Jacksonville. When we get a Sunday nighter, we got to sink our teeth into it and hold on to it, not let them take it away from us. But we play poor football. I don't know if we got a sack today. I know the Packers ran for a lot of yards. I know Josh Jacobs is an elite running back. And I know they won with a backup quarterback for a good portion of this football game. And it's inexcusable, quite frankly. And try this one on. Think about this for a second while you're watching. Tell me the last time the Jaguars won at home here at the bank, not London, at home here at the bank against a good football team. All right? The answer is the Chargers playoff game, not this year, not last year, the year before. That's how far back you have to go to find a win here at the bank against a good football team. There's no home field advantage, and it's not the fans' fault. Like, oh, look at all the Packer fans. Hey, you got to give them something to cheer about, man. And the Jaguars, seemingly week in and week out, cannot do it. They cannot do it. And you can blame everybody you want. You can blame every single person in the organization, man, who has anything to do with football. You can blame the GM. I'm sound like a broken record. You can blame the coaching staff. You can blame the quarterback. You can blame the offense. You can blame the defense. I won't let you blame Logan Cook, best player on the team. Another year where our kicker/punters are the best players on the team. When does it end, people? When does it end? It's 30 years of this nonsense. 30 years.
Jarrian, you guys, sorry I jumped in late. You've been looking for a big play on defense. Can you just take us through that pick in the right spot in the red zone there?
Mm-hmm. Just doing my job. The coverage kind of called for me to kind of be outside leverage, so he just ran the route to my leverage. And, when you're doing your job, you kind of let your athleticism take over from there. So that's kind of what happened.
Did you think you got them both in right away?
Oh, yeah, I knew I got both in. I played receiver, so I knew I had both in, yeah.
How many more of those kind of plays do you guys need to make? I mean, I'm just kind of generally, not 3 or 4, but, you just need a few more of those to end up on the right side of this thing?
Of course. But one thing you can't do is kind of go reaching for them. You just kind of, they're going to happen by you doing your job, but then everything else take care of itself, So I think we just, as a team, just keep doing our 1-11 offense, defense, special teams, everything will come together.
What's it like for you guys in terms of the frustration of obviously losing games, but you come back from 10, you get all the momentum with a minute and a half to go and still end up on the wrong side?
Obviously it's hurting. Like, it hurts, Obviously you try, obviously a game like that, we expected to win. We thought we were going to win. The game kind of aligned in the way of us thinking, obviously we were going to win. But, it's football, man. You can't get too high, can't get too low, It is what it is.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jax 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
I've been forecasting the weather for a long time, and no matter where I go, I always get asked the same question.
Hey, Mike, what's the weather gonna be like?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, hey, what's the weather gonna be like?
I don't mind being asked because I always have the answer. Great day for a perfect round of golf. Hey, a little rain later today. So go ahead, ask me.
Hey, Mike, I'm heading out. What's the weather like tonight?
It's the same question, even at home.
Mike Burrish, he's got your weather answer on Action News Jax. Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
What's it like when you guys are doing some good things and it still doesn't end up the right way to feel good in here?
That just goes to show you this game is all about the inches, and within those inches, you just have to dig into those little small details. Like I continuously keep saying, it's always going to come down to those 1, 2, or 3 plays. And I feel like once we start executing, obviously it's going to be ebbs and flows of the game, but once we start executing majority of those plays as a collective, as a group, everyone, all 11 on the field, then I feel like that'll be us getting over the hump.
Do you feel like the momentum shifts back and forth because you guys aren't playing complementary football? When you guys do something good, it seems like the offense might not be in rhythm, and then vice versa sometimes.
No, I wouldn't even say that. It's just this is football, and obviously it's going to be ebbs and flows in every football game, no matter what. Nobody's perfect. I'm not trying to say we got to, obviously we want to go out there and be perfect, but nobody's perfect in this game. It's a hard game of football. They get paid just how we get paid. So, like I say, we just have to find those little small details.
Did they surprise you a little bit at the end of the game, throwing it? Or did you think maybe they were playing for overtime at all?
No, they did everything that we expected them to do. Came out, tried to continuously run the ball, run out the clock, and, I mean, we just had to get out the field.
I know most of the injuries were on offense. What that next man up mentality and seeing guys step up kind of say to you?
It says a lot. It's the NFL, so that's how it's supposed to be. It's next man up. I mean, it's nothing that you can do alone. Like tomorrow, Monday, we got to come in and get treatment. The ones that's banged up, we got to come in and get healthy. And then it's on to the next. It's a week-to-week league.
We've been watching this football team invent ways to lose. And every week, they come up with a new chapter. It's a great read if you're not a Jaguar fan. But for you 40 to 50,000 who come here every Sunday, my heart breaks for you guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And it's frustrating, and it's deplorable, and it's abhorrent, and it's disgusting, and it just drives you nuts. But that's what we get every single Sunday. Really, the stats don't matter today. They don't. The stats don't matter. The only thing that matters is the final score on the scoreboard. And once again, the Jags lose in a game that they took the lead in, gave up the lead, came back and tied it, headed to overtime, but maybe scored too quickly. I could tell you, that drive by Trevor Lawrence, I'll tell you that tomorrow or Tuesday when it was good. You know, when it sinks in that, you know what, hey, he put the team on his back, had a beautiful drive. Doesn't matter. Foye Oluokun in the locker room.
Is it hard to believe sometimes you did a lot of good things, right? I mean, you get a takeaway. You did some good things early, but you just can't piece all together for a W.
That's the NFL. I mean, you can win the first quarter, don't mean that you're going to win all the way through the game. Back when I was a child, I think, I saw the Rams win the whole Super Bowl, lost to Tom Brady. So you got to win first, second, third, fourth, all the way through. Good team's going to win. Critical down. That critical down could come in the second quarter. It's big plays in complementary football that we got to continue to improve on and continue to learn how to play, and that's when the wins will start rolling. But we got all the talent. I know you guys are tired of hearing it, but we're right there. We just got to execute when execution matters the most.
Were you? Did you guys think that maybe they were just going to run it to overtime, where they came out with a run?
No. I think they came out with a run. I think we all thought it was the boot play they showed us 2 times earlier in the game, maybe 3 times. We kind of all automatically went for it, and then, it's a good chess game on their part. Went for the oh crap route, we call it. It was open. Got to play, got to see it. Don't assume, got to see it.
You're chasing, you get all the momentum. Is it more of a gut punch when you come back from 10 down and then it just still doesn't end up your way?
For sure, it's a gut punch, and I just don't like losing any game. It's a gut punch, and when we right there, we play so hard, and obviously there are times we played better, times we didn't play as good this game, but we was right there ready to win it, and we didn't, so that's tough.
First game in a while, how did you feel, and how do you think you came out of it?
Yeah, I'll talk about that tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, he'll talk about it tomorrow. Couple numbers that I want to throw by you. It's a 4-quarter football game. The first quarter, for the 5th time this year, according to John Shipley, who covers the Jaguars for Sports Illustrated, for the 5th time this year, the Jags totaled 15 yards or less of offense in a quarter. No other team has more than 2. So that's inexcusable, right? That's a slow start. We were horrible for a quarter and a half. I don't think we got our first down until maybe 7-8 minutes left in the second quarter. So that's bad. And then third down conversions? Are you kidding me? 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 0 for 5, 0 for 6, 0 for 7, 0 for 8 before we got our first third down conversion. Liv, what do we finish with third down conversions? It doesn't matter. We lost. Trevor Lawrence is headed to the podium. We're going to listen to his comments here momentarily, see what he has to say. Again, had some good moments, but the consistency is what we got to get from Trevor. Here he is.
Kind of walk us through that last drive that resulted in a touchdown to Evan. Just obviously having so many guys out, so many different guys in, playing with 2 tight ends. Can you just kind of walk us through it?
Yeah, honestly, I can't even remember all the plays that kind of led to us scoring. I know the one we scored on, and sorry, Gene's coming in. Another one we scored on. Evan did a great job with the line of scrimmage, won early, and then just went up and made a great play. But yeah, tough day, really on all levels. Injuries, didn't win the game. It's unfortunate. So definitely bummed and hate it for some of the guys, and we'll see. I don't know. It's not my job to do injury stuff, but hopefully we can get them back soon. And just hate it for guys that are battling through stuff, and seemed like just guys kept going down today. It's part of the game, but it sucks when it all kind of happens in the same day. So. Just praying for those guys that they get back quick and can heal up quick. So we'll see. But yeah, obviously it's 12 personnel and you're in no huddle. It's not something you really practice much. Usually you're in 11, and you got your receivers out there, and we didn't have any left. We had 2 left, and those guys. Hats off to Parker and Tim. I mean, they did a great job just staying ready. I mean, you never know when something like that could happen, and those guys did an awesome job of making some plays down the stretch and just being ready for their opportunity. So, I mean, that's a bright spot if there is one, just those guys playing well.
Trevor, if you guys have to dip down to the practice squad where you got Elijah, Austin Trammell, Josh Cephas, did they do enough good things in training camp and in preseason games where you got some level of confidence that they'll be able to step in and perform?
For sure. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the future looks like, but those guys have been working really hard. I think they've done a nice job. Obviously, if that happens and we do have to bring some guys up, and then it's about kind of getting that chemistry going again, because it's been a little bit since throwing with those guys and work some stuff. So this will be a big week if that is the case, if that's what happens. But those guys have been working really hard. They're prepared. It's something that we preach, is just to stay ready, because you just never know when your number is going to be called. So. Who knows? This could be the week for some of those guys, and I got faith in how in those guys and how they can play.
Trevor, did you apologize if you asked this? Did you feel like you had the ball far enough away from the defender that you weren't concerned about losing it on the fumble? Because you held it away from where he was.
Yeah, I was just obviously disappointed and turned the ball over there, backed up, and giving them an easy touchdown pretty much. Definitely affected the game, so that's disappointing. I honestly thought I was going to break the tackle and scramble, so I kind of moved it to the other hand to get out of so I could use my offhand to try to get him off me, and he made a good play and made the tackle, and somehow, I don't know what hit the ball, something hit the ball, and just got to take care of it. In that situation, even if I, throw it away or check it down and we don't get it and we punt, that's still better and puts our defense in a position where they can get a stop and prevent them from scoring. So I didn't help them out there.
On the play prior to the field goal, was the motion timing a little bit off?
Yeah, something happened on that. I think it hit one of our guys during the motion, so I'm not sure exactly. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what happened. It happened quick, but yeah, it's same thing. It's just another error that we got to fix. I don't know if it's the timing, if it's my cadence, time up that motion better. Obviously, like I said, we had a lot of injuries, and we got guys going that are, doing stuff that they haven't done before, and we're trying to figure it out on the fly. So it's no excuse, but we got to play cleaner.
Kind of a tale of two halves, Trevor. You talked about the success late in the game. Early on, did Green Bay show you something? You guys just seemed to struggle to even pick up a first down until midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, honestly, they did a few things a little different. I think that's every game, though. There's going to be a plan for their defensive plan for us and what we do and what they see on tape. They have a plan just as we have a plan to play them. So there's always a couple things, but it wasn't anything crazy. We just didn't execute. I know I missed a couple throws on third down throughout the game. There's some other ones where it just felt like the details weren't good enough, whether that's being on the same page in the perimeter or whatever. It just seemed like some of the details we were lacking a little bit early, and some of the third downs. They made some good plays too, but we got to be able to convert some of those third downs. I think we had 2 or 3 and outs in a row to start the game and put our defense in a tough spot, and they were playing great. So yeah, we gotta be better on third down. We've been better the last few weeks going into this game, and we weren't good today.
Trevor, you guys were 2-6 over here. You guys were 2-6 2 years ago, 2-6 now here today. Can you draw upon that experience, and what's your confidence level comparatively to when you guys were 2-6 2 years ago versus 2-6 today?
I see that's what's kind of sucks as a player, and just being a part of the team is you see the team coming together, and where we're at the last few weeks, we really have, I felt like, come together, and we're playing more complementary, and we're giving ourselves a chance. And obviously there's just too many mistakes today, and we didn't make enough plays at the end of the game to go win it. But I do feel the team coming together, but we just got to find a way to go 3-6. Let's go win next week. Can't worry about what's going to come after that. We just got to go take it 1 week at a time. It's the only way we're going to get out of the hole that we've put ourselves in. So I'm honestly not really thinking about 2 years ago. It doesn't help you now. I mean, obviously the experience, maybe guys have a little bit of confidence from that, but it's a new team, and we got to go do it. We can't just say, well, we've done it before, it's going to happen. We got to go find a way to make these plays at the end of the game to go win it. So, yeah.
You guys scored, I think, with 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Seeing how Green Bay's last drive played out, do you think you scored too quickly? Like, would you have liked to drain a little more time off the clock?
No, I mean, you got to score. You try to mess around and you don't score and you don't have a chance. So we were down 7. You got to score. If you got an opportunity, you punch it in. So, no, I don't think that we scored too quickly. I think it's ideally, yeah, of course you would love to take as much time, and you get down inside the 5 and maybe you can run the clock, make them use timeouts. Who knows? Whatever it may be. But that just wasn't really the situation we were in. It felt like we were playing aggressive. We were moving the ball great. I was seeing it. Guys were getting open, making plays. And then we got our opportunity, our matchup with Evan, and we took it. So I think it's not the same as when you need to kick a field goal to take the lead or whatever. When you have to score a touchdown, you got to take them when you can get them. So, yeah.
Trevor, with the injuries, you don't know who's going to be out for how long, but when you're facing a reduced lineup like that, the pressure to be even more perfect, is that going to ramp up, less of a margin for error, you guys, going forward, if you are going to get back in this thing?
No, I mean, guys just got to step up, including me. It's the same every week. I mean, playing quarterback in this league, if you don't play well, you're not probably going to have a great chance to win. So it doesn't really change, and it's any position. You just got to play well. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to play together, got to execute in critical situations. Just all stuff that we've talked about, and we got to continue to get better at. And I think we have in some areas. And it's one thing. The team has to stick together, and we can't be totally dejected by the result today. I do think we've come a long way, and we are continuing to come together and become a better team. But we got to find a way to win next week. So, all the work is not in vain. We've come a long way, and we just got to go find a way to win. Awesome. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Trevor Lawrence, and you heard his comments. We've got Brent Martineau here. We watched the game together, both maddening. In the end, I said earlier the Jags are going to jag. This team cannot find ways to win, and Green Bay conversely does, and it's frustrating. It's hard. It's these poor fans that come out week after week. They cannot win a big game here at the bank, and for all intents and purposes, the season is now done. Just give me your initial thoughts.
Well, I think a lot of it, what you just said, it's interesting because there's so many small wins. I've been saying this all year. It's a maddening team. There's a lot to like about some of the elements of the football game or the football team. Like, it's not an all bad thing, but they can't play complimentary football, and I hate to go to that coach speak, but it's really true. Like,
when
this
the
team
defense needs to make a play to help the offense, or vice versa, or the only one who does is Logan Cook. God bless you, Logan. You're off the hook.
Today was an illustration of it, like maybe more than ever before. The defense came out and played very well. The offense can't move the ball. They're 0 for 4 on third downs. They can't get a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 1. They did nothing for 20 minutes, and then they start to play.
Because you want to laud Trevor for what he did in the fourth quarter without 3 of his receivers. He put them on his back. He's throwing to Brent Strange and Parker Washington, and he gets them down the field. But you put us in that position, Trevor, because you gave them 14 points.
The 2 turnovers are ridiculous, quite frankly, and I love Trevor. Nobody defends Trevor more than me. I mean, I think he's fantastic. I think that's what he can do.
He took the football and switched it to his left hand to try. I mean,
he made the mistake that he said he's been good this year.
He has.
He's been good.
He has.
But especially with Malik Willis in the game, that guy's not going to come down and beat. Now he did, but he's not going to drive on you all game. So you can't give him a point blank opportunity. You've got to know time and space here. You got to know game situation, and that's one thing Trevor's struggled at times in. There's a time to make a mistake, and there's a time not to. And that was one not to.
It will be curious after the Jags fought back, took the lead. It'll be curious to break down defensively the drive where Malik Willis threw it, I think, one time, scrambled for 20.
And then Jacobs runs for 38.
Jacobs ran 38, and it'll be curious to break that down because, quite frankly, again, you know they're going to run. You know they're going to run. And somehow we let them run it down.
I mean, Malik Willis is a terrible quarterback. Like, he's a terrible quarterback.
Well, he's a backup.
But he's a bad backup. Like, he's a bad quarterback. And so you know what to... The bottom line is this for me. The defense, talked to Josh Hines-Allen there. He's like, hey, we did some good things. Like, we played good. Like, and they feel that way. And by the way, I thought they had reason to. They didn't give up an opening drive. They were kind of dictating the play a little bit. They were holding Jordan Love even when he was in the game. They only gave up, 13 at halftime? This is a good offense. And they were only giving up 13. But they only come up with the 1 turnover, which was a very nice one. And after that, they never came up with a big enough play for me. They give up the late play. They give up the one that you're talking about. When Trevor does turn it over, the good teams force a field goal in those spots. They gave up 2 touchdowns. So the defense, they're a little better, but still not good enough. And that's the problem. Here's the deal. I just said it. It's not good enough. They're not good enough. Like, if you held on a little bit, like, hey, maybe this team is going to find it, like I did today. I thought they were going to play well today. I really had a good feeling. They didn't. They played terrible today, really, in a lot of facets. And they still only lost by 3, but they didn't have to face Jordan Love in the second half.
I think I get frustrated, and this is probably normal. This is me as a fan talking, but I get frustrated from listening to the players say those type of things when you lose the game. It's all that matters in the NFL, and I don't think they've grasped that yet. I don't know what it is that's the disconnect with these guys. You know, we talked pregame about them playing exciting football, getting pumped up, getting ready to go.
They did today.
Yeah, but you didn't do good. You don't go back to we did good things. You don't go back to, gosh, we had injuries. You don't go back to, hey, we'll learn from. You know, your season just came to basically an end today.
But remember, I will say this. I'll defend him in this regard when it comes to that. 3 weeks ago, there were reports that Doug had lost the locker room. And these guys, I remember Andre Sisco said, hey, they quit. Like, there's not that. This team battled back despite adversity. They're holding. That's how they hold it together internally. Like, I'll give them the nod on that. That's how they have to look at it. They've got to take small victories so they don't just go mad like we all go mad watching it.
Well, speaking of Doug, let's hear his post-game comments now from just a couple of minutes ago. He just went to the podium.
Yeah, I mean, they're devastated. They're heartbroken. They battled their tails off. You know, they fought to the end, quite frankly. That's all It's all that I can ask for. But I also want them to understand, too, that these games come down to about 2 plays, 3 plays, right? Can't give the ball away like we did late, deep in our own end. We didn't tackle very well defensively. So there's some things that we need to clean up and continue to clean up if we want to, get back on track.
Doug, Trevor leads the 87-yard drive to tie the game without the top 3 receivers going into today. What did he kind of show you there on being able to guide the team down, obviously down his top 3 receivers?
I think, yeah, he did a nice job. I give a credit to those receivers and those tight ends and the offensive line. Those guys, they made plays for him, right? Now he made some really good throws and all of that, but those guys that were playing at the end of the game when you're down your top 3 receivers and you're playing in your 12 personnel for the rest of the game, that's tough. But the guys battled their tails off, got us back to tying this football game with a chance to potentially win it there late. So hats off to those guys.
Coach, can you walk us through the strategy at the end of the game? It looked like you were trying to let them score, but then they kind of fell down at the end, like not allowing you to let them score.
Look, I mean, the only way for us to get the ball back was to make decisions that you could let them score. They're going to be in church mode. I mean, it was almost inevitable. So, you're playing the game and you're trying to do what you can to save time, get as much time back on that clock as you can. And they did a great job. We'd have done the same thing. Get the first down, you go down, make your opponent, in this case myself, burn your last time out, things of that nature. And, honestly, it's smart on both sides to play it that way.
Doug, how serious is Christian's injury? Did it appear to be something that might be?
Yeah, on the injuries, guys, I don't know. I haven't talked to Ferg yet. I came straight in here, so I'll probably have something later and know more tomorrow. When I get the updates.
And with Trevor on the fumble down there, the ability, though, to kind of shake it off and then kind of, like Hayes was talking about, lead them down the rest of the way. Can you just talk about that mentality to be able to have to shake stuff off?
Yeah, I mean, that's our sport, right? It's that mental toughness that I talk about with the team. I mean, we can't turn the ball over that deep. Obviously, we know that. But the resilient part of that is how we battled back and got ourselves in position to tie the football game, and that's the mindset. But that's the mindset we got to have, in the first quarter, and that'll be something that we can I think learn from moving forward.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, was there any thought to going for 2 at the end there?
Not with the time remaining. If there was maybe 20 seconds or less, potentially go for it there. But with the amount of time that's left in the game and a couple timeouts, no, kick it and tie it.
How disappointing was the defensive effort there at the end? You got a backup quarterback in, 2nd and long, and giving up that big play like that.
Well, I mean, that's it's disappointing that we were able to give up that. But I look at it too. I mean. It shouldn't have necessarily come to that, but again, it just goes back to what I said too, right? I mean, you never know which 2 or 3 plays are going to be the ones that decide football games, and you just got to be ready. Make the ones that come to you, and credit them. They hit it, and put them in position to win the game.
All right, that's Doug Pederson's comments. You just heard them. Interesting that he said if there were like 20 seconds left, he might have gone for 2. I still wouldn't have gone for 2 at home when you're playing a backup quarterback in overtime and you've just driven the ball and you got momentum on your side. Yeah. I just think that would be a big mistake. I'm glad he didn't, and he didn't, so I'm not going to hammer him for that.
Hey, here's the deal. We were both watching, and we'll just tell you what we were saying in real time up there. It felt like, and I think I might have even tweeted this in real time, that Doug was trying to score quick. Because remember, he used a timeout with like 4:10 to go in the game defensively.
Yes.
It was like he was trying to score quick because he wasn't afraid of Malik Willis on offense. And then when they run on first down, I was like, he's right. See, they're just going to try to play for overtime. Well, Doug had 2 timeouts. Now you can get the ball back and maybe win in regulation. We know Doug's aggressive. I bet that was going through his mind. Well, then they hit the play, and you said LaFleur's got one more play in the bag, and he did, and they called the crap play. And even Evan Engram, you'll hear him in a bit. Nobody can stop that play. He said, whatever that was. So
I don't understand.
Well, then why can't we run it?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you run it 7 times a game then? No, I first off, I have a lot of respect for LaFleur because he's now, I think, 6-0 when they're leading at the end of the third quarter, which is the best in the NFL.
Most underrated coach in the National Football League.
At first, I was like, man, what a great situation you walk into. You get Aaron Rodgers, of course you're going to win. It's not that.
No.
This guy's got a great offensive
good.
mind.
He's good.
And he knows how to win. He took Malik Willis when Jordan Love was hurt earlier this year. He took him and he won games with him. He took him to Tennessee, and one week they ran, remember against the Colts?
30 times in a row.
Ran it, and then he goes to Tennessee and he fakes the run and throws, and he beat both of them. So the guy knows what he's doing. He's a very creative offensive mind and does a great job. So that aside, we'll look back at this game, and I bet we can name a dozen plays that drove you nuts.
So here's it's funny. It's funny we talk about LaFleur. Because I have this wrestling match internally on Doug and Press. I think Doug really knows how to coach. I do. I think he knows how to game manage and everything else. I think he does a good job. We know about the whole play calling. I think he'd be better off doing it. But I also don't think Press is terrible at it. Now, he wasn't good for the first 20 minutes. He found them something. Their explosive plays are there. And
that's a positive for this football team. And again, I hate to get into the moral victories, but there's Jags teams in the past that, it's not there today, and that's the way it's going to be.
That's going to be,
Trevor was terrible early. Right? And then he found something. At the end of the half, man, getting that field goal back, I thought that could be huge.
That was good by Doug. He was aggressive there.
I thought that could be huge. I thought those 3 points were going to matter. In the end, they didn't matter. But then Trevor makes the, second half big mistake that ended up really costing.
But go back to, like, Press Taylor and their offensive play call. Dan, they suck at 3rd and 1 and 2. And it hasn't changed. Like, they can't figure out 3rd and 1 and 2 or 3. They're better off in 2nd and 15 than they are in 3rd and 1 or 2 or 3. They went 0 for their first 8 and then finally hit on a big one to Brent and Strange here to make it 1 for 9 on 3rd downs. But I'm telling you, you would think if I said that a lot of them were 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. No. There were like a handful of them 3rd and 4 or less. That's a money down that's what you want as an offense. Why can't they do? And this is not a new problem. This is a year-long problem. It's a last year problem. It's a little bit of the year prior problem.
Last year,
I don't get it.
And we got a hard running back now, right? But we can't run it. We're in the shotgun a lot on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, which is frustrating.
They're going to the QB sneak more. I like that. And it's working.
Trevor picked one up today. That was good. But overall on 3rd down, you're right. They went 0 for their first 8. I mean, you just can't.
But again, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. These are good downs to get first downs. You have every play in the playbook available.
Right.
And then see, this is my mental gymnastics. Then they start popping plays all over the place. Like, that's good play calling.
Sure.
Press Taylor didn't have a bad day
They're
today.
definitely a team that when they get in a rhythm. But sometimes they can't find the rhythm.
Or it takes forever to get there.
I tell you who showed me some rhythm right there. His name is Evan Engram.
What a catch.
Oh, my gosh, did he get up?
Yeah.
I mean, did he climb up for that? Let's hear from him right now.
Yeah, I think it definitely speaks to the young guys. Young guys, like, getting called on and just stepping up. So, this point of our season, you can't really bask in the moral victories, but it's good for our team. It's good for the young guys to step up in that moment, and still got a lot of football left, so got to keep going.
And you stepped up big time. Traffic there on that play in the end zone. Did you feel like, I don't know, maybe 2 seconds before the ball was even in the air, that Trevor could throw it to you there?
Trevor has a really good sense of guys winning at the line of scrimmage, and a lot of plays in the past that he's thrown to me. He's thrown to me off of great releases, and I threw a great release on the guy, and so I knew Trevor would see it. So I knew the ball was going to be up there for sure.
Could you also talk about the timing of the jump? Because that's what got the defenders, was the fact that you timed it perfectly to go up to get the ball.
I just went up and caught it. I just went up and got it. Definitely, everybody was talking about it was up there floating, but I just went up and got it.
Feels like we've wondered though, can you guys make the winning plays, the big plays, and you do in that moment.
Yeah.
So how much of a gut punch is it that you still don't end up celebrating it here?
Yeah, I mean they ran a great play on offense. That little sneak play that gets everybody. So very unfortunate in that moment. But our guys fought. Our guys, we believe that we can win this game, and we were right there. So we're definitely trending up. And at this point, we got to fight for our legacy. What kind of legacy do we want to leave as individuals and for our team as a team? So, we can throw the record out at this point. What legacy are we going to leave on the field moving forward? And I think today gave us a good glimpse of what we can do. Still just got to finish. So, got to keep moving forward.
Christian, you have a good relationship, strong. How tough is it to see a guy go down like that?
It's just one of the best teammates I've ever had, ever been around. One of the smartest players I've been around. One of the best leaders I've been around. And you saw him cut up today too. He was rolling, he was getting going, and it's just a very unfortunate event. God doesn't make mistakes. There's a plan. His will is better than any of ours can imagine. So he'll be just fine. But I didn't even realize. I was so locked in. I didn't realize Gabe was out. I didn't realize BT was out. Obviously, I was like front row for Christian. So, and then I came off on the sideline, and they were like, "We have to go 12 personnel for the rest of the day." And I was just like, "Okay." And then it was like, "Oh," but it's football. Got to step up and make plays and keep going.
And there's been a lot of talk about this team potentially trading off guys because of the record. Christian was talked about. Brandon's obviously we talked about Cam. Is that disheartening, or is it a distraction for you guys to hear that that another loss and watch this team sell?
That's way outside of our building. Way outside of our building. We have no control over that. And we truly love each other in here, so we don't even think about that. We don't even fathom that. At the end of the day, a business is a business, and things might happen. We're not like we can't even sit here. I don't even want to sit here and answer that question. So respectfully, but that's just something we don't think about or talk about.
I think that's fair enough. Evan Engram asked about the trade deadline at the end. He didn't seem real happy about it, but he handled it right. I mean, and he's right. It's not in our realm of possibility. We have nothing to do or say about that. We love each and every one of us in this building, and we'd like to stay, obviously. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
they've kept the room
he
together.
also knows it's a results-oriented business, and we ain't winning. So at 2-6, when do you punt on the season?
Well, they've kept the team. Listen, the locker room's done a nice job, and Doug's done a better job than people at keeping that together.
Yes.
These guys are playing hard, all that stuff. Like, that can change in the NFL. Right. They're not there yet, at least.
No.
But the bottom line is, this is going to be a miserable November, December, and January in Jacksonville once again. Like, it's over. It's 2-6. You're not coming back. Houston's 6-2. You don't win any tiebreakers. It doesn't matter. So you can't. Unless you run the table, which you're not, because the next 4 games are like really tough.
Yeah.
So you're not doing that. It's over.
Yeah.
So does Shad Khan and Trent Baalke have to admit that it's over, and do you move? Now, Kirk was a piece that potentially can move. That's not happening. He's done, or at least for a bit. Cam Robinson is a piece that he was essentially a healthy scratch today.
Correct.
Now, he does come out of concussion protocol.
But he was cleared, and Doug said guys don't lose their job because of injury, and then he didn't play. And there are teams that need – the Minnesota Vikings are a team that just lost Darisaw for the year. It would seem to make sense.
And they've traded with Minnesota before, too.
But what are you going to – again, and I speak as a fan, 5th round, 6th
I don't care about the
4th round. What does that do for me?
It does nothing. But I would you be surprised right now if Cam Robinson doesn't move by next Tuesday, the trade deadline?
I'd be more surprised if he's here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's now. I don't think in ETN.
Didn't we have some other injuries on the O-line today? So see how that plays.
That's another thing, by the way. Walker Little played well, I think, today.
Yeah.
I did not like the first 2 series from the offensive line. You killed him. He was totally the play they fumble on. Dan says in the press box. He says, "I don't think Trevor's been sacked today."
sack, fumble.
Don't worry, I punched him.
Oh my God!
Don't worry, I
deserved
punched
it.
Dan.
I deserved
hard.
I like I said at the very beginning. In the end, the Jags are going to jag, and I hate it. It's 30 years of this.
But I will say, but the offensive line
on a burial ground.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line was getting bullied on the first 2 possessions. They actually rebounded pretty nice
They did.
overall. They've played better football. Again, another small win that doesn't matter because you can't win. It's very frustrating. I don't know who else they would even move, Dan. I mean, could they move Foye to try to play Ventro a little bit?
Maybe.
Now, he just redid his contract. He seems like a very important player for this team. Cisco?
Robertson Harris redid his contract last year.
Maybe those are the ones that they do get rid of, right?
Do we have time for the Josh Hines-Allen interview? Let's play that before we get out of here. We have a couple minutes left in the program. Let's play Josh Hines-Allen, hear from him after the game.
How do you process this one?
This definitely hurts right now. We had every opportunity to win this game, and again, it comes back down to those little mistakes, or I don't know what happened on that last play. I think Cisco got hurt or something, so hopefully he's feeling all right. But this one's definitely gonna hurt because I feel like we had a great game, defensively, special teams, offensively. I think we all made big plays when we needed it the most, but we didn't get this victory. So this one really hurts.
Yeah, is it frustrating to you you see a lot of good plays, but they just, whether they're not coming when the offense makes a good play, the defense does, or vice versa?
Yeah, complementary football. I think that's what it all is. We both have spare moment, big plays here and there, but to capitalize, defense get a stop. What does the offense do? Or the offense gets a good gets a touchdown. How do we respond to defense? I think that's what we have to be better at, because we can obviously play good football on both sides of the ball. We just have to complement each other a little bit better.
When that has happened, I mean, is that just riding momentum? Is it just guys making plays in those spots? Is it riding momentum from one unit to another? What is that?
To be honest, what does it look like from previous time, from previous experiences? I think it's just having that confidence, or just everybody doing what they're supposed to do, or just everybody doing what they're supposed to do when somebody makes a play when the ball comes to them, or vice versa. I feel like personally, when a big play was made, when we came back out there, something happened to them, then we had to respond, and then we're not trying to figure out, we're just playing ball, but we're not making that one person at that particular play is not making that play. I don't know, what I'm saying? I got to watch this tape, but I know this hurts, and we're going to have to correct it, sorry, excuse my language.
Does this one hurt a little more than the others just because we're halfway through the season? You guys said, you need to win every game out. Yeah. I mean, very disappointed that we lost, obviously. Hurt more, hurt less. A loss is a loss at the end of the day, and they all sting the same way. Obviously, we had a goal to win every other game. to win games, to win every game moving forward, and we didn't get that done today. So it definitely stings a little bit, but a loss is a loss, and it just doesn't sit right for myself or anybody else in this locker room.
How important is it to have confidence heading into Week 9? What does it mean for this
For sure.
team to have a little bit more?
I feel like we have confidence. Obviously, you see the way we competed today, so the confidence isn't there. We know we can play. I think this was probably one of our best games defensively, just from what it felt like, not watching the tape, or, just how it felt, the energy that we played with. I felt like we competed really well. We got off the field on third down. We had to take away. And so, we stopped the run up to a certain point, so we had to tackle better defensively, especially in crucial moments, especially towards the end of the game. So that's one thing that we need to focus on, and we need to just dial into, because it's a 4-quarter game, and like we said previous times, the game don't stop until it's 0-0-0-0 on the clock, and so we just gotta keep that effort up right there.
Beautiful now. Yeah.
I would say disconsolate. Josh Hines-Allen, just in listening to him talk, you were there. What did he?
He would probably say the same about me.
Yeah. All right, before we get out of here, just some final thoughts from you. Jags fall to 2-6. 30 seconds, Brent Martineau.
Listen, pick your favorite player, your favorite part of the game, or whatever. You'll find good, you'll find bad.
Yeah.
The Jags are just on a seesaw right now, and they're not good enough to do that. You can't do that in the NFL. You got to have more good than bad. And that's why they're losing these games. They've lost a lot of close games over the last 14 games.
Yeah.
But they've lost 11 of them over the last 14 games. And you could say they should have won like 7 of them.
Yeah.
That's bad.
What's screaming at me is the butt kicking we're going to take in Philadelphia on Sunday.
It's going to be physical.
Going up to Philadelphia after this at 2-6. I don't have a good vibe on that one at all. Maybe
they look good today.
No chance against Detroit, and draft talk coming up on Action Sports Jax Primetime. Thanks for hanging out with us. That'll do it. Appreciate it. Jags lose today again at home at the bank where they can't cash in a victory to save their lives. 30-27 for Brent, Dan, whole gang. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll be back on Action Sports Jax Primetime. 30 minutes to close the weekend. Good night, everybody.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worries. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJax.com.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jag Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now, get 10% off any residential job of $500 or more. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.